You're listening to Celebrating the Faces of Small Businesses in Dalby, a special series for Small Business Month, proudly brought to you by the Dalby Chamber of Commerce and Industry in partnership with 4DDD. This May, we're shining a spotlight on the people behind our local businesses, the innovators, the risk takers, and the everyday champions who keep Dalby thriving. Join us as we go beyond the storefront to uncover the stories, passion, and drive powering small businesses across our region. Because when small business thrives, Dalby thrives. Happy Small Business Month.
Hi, I'm Leilani from the Dalby Junior Chamber, and today I'm joined by Cath, Director of Dalby Engine Rebuilders. It's a family business that's been operating in Dalby for 68 years, so Cath has seen plenty of change, both in the workshop and across our local community. We'll chat about how the business got started, what engine reconditioning looks like these days, and how the spare parts side has grown over the years. Thanks for joining us today, Cath.
Thank you.
Cath, can you take us back to the beginning? How did the business come to be, and what did it look like in those early days?
The business was commenced by my father, Brian Myers, in partnership with Lindsay Sturgis back in 1958. Brian was very much self-taught as a kid. Every gadget, appliance or equipment purchased by his mum and dad was religiously pulled apart to find out the inner workings and put back together. You can imagine the disgrace on his mother's face when she found her brand new washing machine in pieces on the floor. He left school at an early age and went well-boring around Roma. He learned about engine reconditioning in Mount Isa, where he had planned on starting his own works there. He had already ordered some machinery when he and Lindsay had a meeting and decided to enter into partnership and commence a new business in Dalby. Lindsay had completed an apprenticeship and had his own equipment to carry out crankshaft grinding. Brian borrowed money from his father and they purchased land on Loudon Road, and a shed and an office were built. The rest is history, so to speak. The partnership was dissolved in 1982. Lindsay went on to grow and import diesel parts, and Brian continued with the engine reconditioning and spare parts business, which is still operating today around the shell of the existing building.
For listeners who might not be mechanically minded, what does engine reconditioning actually involve, and what are the most common reasons people come to you for one?
Well, it's not really that much different to what Brian did as a kid. The engine is removed from the vehicle and completely dismantled. Every nut, bolt and part comes off. It's like taking apart a Lego set, piece by piece. Everything is cleaned and each part is inspected, looking for scratches, cracks or worn parts. Some parts are replaced, like the pistons, rings, seals, gaskets and bearings, and other components use specialised machinery to reshape parts to exact sizes. The engine is reassembled carefully with new or restored parts, making sure everything fits and moves correctly. In short, engine reconditioning equals take apart, clean, inspect, fix or replace, build and test. It restores it to near original, giving the engine a second life, offering a cost-effective alternative to buying a new engine. Today, the business family focuses on the engine machining processes rather than disassembly or assembly. We service all makes and models, from small motorbike cylinder heads to a 500 kilogram Caterpillar engine block. Nothing's really too big or small. My brother still rebuilds a range of Toyota engines and sells them on an exchange program. This helps keep our staff well trained in all aspects of engine reconditioning.
Being based in a regional area, do you see a lot of farm machinery, trucks or older engines people want to keep going? How would you describe your main clientele?
Well, our clientele comes from near and far, like we service Queensland, New South Wales and even sometimes the Northern Territory. We service automotive, agricultural, earth moving, transport and energy sectors. We're really diverse. We actually don't see any vehicles or farm machinery in the workshop. We only work on the bare engine components like the cylinder head, engine block, conrods or crankshaft. We do get a lot of work from farmers wanting to keep their machinery running. Likewise, we get a lot of work from garages or diesel mechanics who have customer vehicles in their workshop for repairs. They don't have the equipment or the trade qualifications to perform actual engine reconditioning services. So typically, a garage might pull the cylinder head from the block and send the cylinder head to us for inspection and reconditioning. The most common cause of cylinder head failure is vehicle overheating, and we have specialised equipment that can test and determine damage and repair options. We actually do get a lot of people restoring vehicles, and in the workshop at the moment we've actually got a dismantled engine from a 1945 Willys Army Jeep. So we get some old ones, we get some current ones, we get it all.
Can you tell us about the spare parts retail shop as well? When did it start and what's the history to it?
Well, from the very beginning, we always carried stocks of pistons, rings, bearings and engine gaskets. In a very short time, the spare parts section was literally bursting at the seams, and in 1963, we rented premises in Archibald Street. 12 months later, another move into Cunningham Street. When we outgrew that, in 1973, we moved to a purpose-built showroom and warehouse in New Street, where we expanded on our range of engine parts and diversified into tools, lubricants, accessories, and so much more. Would you believe it or not, we even sold motorbikes back in the day. To cut the story short, we moved with the times and enjoyed exploring new opportunities. In 2007, the decision to merge our spare parts back under the same roof as our workshop proved to be our best move yet. We went back to the core business of concentrating on selling good quality aftermarket engine parts and servicing products. Selling engine parts for all makes and models continues to be a major focus of the company.
When someone needs an older or hard-to-find part, how do you track it down? And how important is your network of trusted suppliers and your staff working in this space?
Well, really, it's our long time in the industry and the knowledge of our long-term staff that gives us an edge when tracking down that hard-to-find part. We have staff that have been with the company for over 30 years, and our team have always been our greatest asset. This knowledge has been preserved and passed on over the years, together with a network of trusted suppliers. Most ordering today is done online through purpose-built online catalogues. However, they're not always great for sourcing that restoration or hard-to-find part. We have maintained some really, really old parts catalogues and books, and our team go that extra mile to utilise all the resources we have to find and track down that right part. We've always had a good reputation for supplying that hard-to-find part. In fact, years ago, this was one of our major advertising campaigns, but that's a story for another day.
The business has a lot of history in town. Can you share the story of your old location and any key milestones as you outgrew spaces or expanded services over the years?
Yeah, well, as previously mentioned, our spare parts aspect of the business has seen many moves over the years as we expanded into new markets. However, the machine shop still runs from its existing location. It's just been modified and added on to several times over many years. Being in business for over 68 years certainly creates its own story and history. The company today is managed by myself and my brother Mick. We both started with the company when we left school. Mick completed his apprenticeship under the watchful eye of my father. While I initially started in the office, I went on to complete a business degree and over the years have learnt all aspects of the company. Whilst I don't really understand the whole works of a running engine, I don't mind getting a bit of grease under the fingernails, and I can often be found in the workshop sorting out jobs. Mick and I have both worked in the company together over 40 years respectively, and we had a very good teacher in our father, who was there for over 60 years until his passing in 2015 actually. He was extremely passionate and hardworking and was always dedicated in sharing his knowledge and skills. Mick and I are proud of the legacy he built and his commitment into supporting staff and our community.
Staying in business for 68 years in a small community is a huge achievement. What's been the key to that longevity?
Well, this is a funny aspect because the changes in processes in the workshop especially are predominantly still the same. The differences in the techniques is really just the updated machinery that allows the work to be performed precisely and accurately and much more timely. A little bit in our spare parts shop too, like we still supply the same parts we were in the beginning. What's changed is the year of manufacture and the diversity of vehicles. I always think about wiper blades. That's a classic example. Years ago, we used to have a few different wiper blades that were universal and fit most vehicles. Today, however, wiper blades are very specific and different for each model and vehicle. Over the years, we've had the major vehicle brands like Ford and Holden, Mazda and Toyota. Today, the range of imported vehicles is endless, with countless makes and models. Staying up to date and keeping parts in stock so we can get what you need quickly is a constant challenge. But with the strong systems in place and a focus on keeping things moving, we've built a solid track record of reliability. Our computer systems and processes keep those essential parts on the shelf and ready to go.
To wrap up, what does being a small business owner in Dalby mean to you? And what do you value most about serving the local community?
Being a small business owner in Dalby means playing a proactive role in nurturing the town's vibrant, close-knit community and character. Our region is driven by agricultural, farming and other major industries that call Dalby home, and being part of that is something we have always valued deeply. For us, business is much more than profit. It's about delivering genuine services, creating local jobs and contributing to the community spirit. I take great pride in our family business and the people who are part of it. While we're proud of our long history, it hasn't always been easy. Running a business comes with constant decisions, challenges and pressure. In those tougher moments, I remind myself how far we've come since our humble beginnings in 1958. And that's a good sign. I think we're doing something right.
Thank you so much, Cath, for joining us today. It was really great to hear the stories behind this long-standing family-run business. We hope you enjoyed sharing your stories with us.
Thank you.
You've been listening to The Faces of Small Business. In places like Dalby, local businesses aren't just shops. They're the lifeblood of the community. This joint project by the Dalby Chamber of Commerce and Industry and 4DDD shares their stories. Tune in next time and celebrate the folks who keep our town rolling strong.